an attempt to recapture that Illmatic magic, much like how Jordan was trying to recapture that magic he had of being Jordan while being signed to the Wizards. We going live from the underground. What up, YouTube? Topaz Yates back with another live from the underground, and here we gonna do a live album review or mixtape review of this latest Nas Magic project that's just came out. Well, it came out a couple days ago, and it was a surprise project to a degree. And I will say it wasn't bad. It wasn't the hype that we're seeing that everybody else is having. Everybody saying that, oh, Nas, this project is so great, like they do with every project that Nas releases. Is every single one of Nas's projects better than the last one? If you keep saying yes, that just determines how much you actually listen to it. As what Nas is doing with this project, man, it's a continuation of everything that he's been doing from King's Disease 1, King's Disease 2. Now Magic, where he's continuing his chemistry, getting more production, doing a lot more shout outs and stuff with Hit Boy. As there's only really one song on here that wasn't fully produced by Hit Boy, I do believe, and that was because they threw in DJ Premier on top of something. Well, okay, those are cool. And, you know, I am not against someone building their chemistry and putting out music that people seem to like, as people have been seeming to like all of these projects. I ain't mad at that. But I'm not going to say that any of these projects were like classics, deeming of instant follow-ups this quick. Like, to be real with you, I can count on one hand how many of my favorite songs off of all of these projects. Let's see. Composure from King's Disease 2. That was fire. The Definition and All Bad from King's Disease 1. Those were fire. This one, I really can't tell you that one song is going to sustain the test of time here. Like, there were a couple that was cool, like, say, Speechless and Wu-Tang is for the kids. But just to be 100 with you, these songs is just not going to make it. And as I said, there were some dopes, and as I said, there was some dope songs that I have listened to off of all of these projects as a whole, but not one of these projects were like a top 5 of the year of the albums, you feel me? And then when you look at these individual songs, I wouldn't put them in top 10s, maybe top 15s of the year, maybe. Top 15 is definitely doable. Top 10 is a little difficult. That's a little difficult to place any of these tracks. But a lot of good stuff from an artist that, you know, has been showing all of the signs of being washed up for quite some time. But everybody wants to ignore it. Just like, oh, how you calling yourself the new gangstar and all of that stuff. Signs that you may be washed up. But let's continue. Now, one thing that I do like about what Nas is doing here, you dig, is he's more embracing the digital age than he was doing before by he's borderline flooding like you see with the vast majority of artists that's out here in the game. You feel me? Like, these people are just flooding music nonstop because you have the easeability, accessibility, and people are following for you. So why not just put out as much as you can? But Nas is doing it much better, you dig? Where it seems though with this conceptual project right here, which is more of a Illmatic style that he's updating with the times, he's doing that just straight up for this. as this is just straight up for all of his real hip hop, quote unquote, fans that will never shut up about this. How much, and I know you know them. And I know you know these people. And I know you know them. The people that will be like, oh, Illmatic is the best Nas album to have ever come out. Besides the new albums that's coming out, because Nas just never misses. But yet this whole style, this is the greatest style of New York has ever seen. You know the type. You know exactly the type. But it always kills me because there's a reason why your style of music, this particular style of music, it fades away. And it really begins with the fans. You dig? Like these fans that never shut up about how great that project was and how much more they want from it. You realize that they don't really be listening to anything new, right? They really don't be listening to, like, I could probably find you 1 or 2 Nas fans who don't even know that this Magic project has even came out. Why? Because they don't follow Nas. They don't follow new music, even though they'll swear up and down how much they love this type of music, how much it's better than anything that anybody new is coming out with. They swear that this is the greatest ever. But yet when Nas goes out of his way to create something for you guys to actually listen to that fits along the lines that you claim you want, you don't listen to it. Why? Because you don't listen to anything. You were so used to being stuck in your own mind, stuck in your own time, that you don't even give a chance to the individuals that you claim to love, that giving you what you claim that you want. You don't even listen to it at all. You don't even know because you're not following. And then you wonder why people aren't doing anything for you. It kills me. But it is what it is. But I do like the fact that Nas is, showcasing his diversity of his styles and releasing music. Much like how, say, Wiz Khalifa did. Like, I mean, and not saying that Wiz is like the first one to do it or nothing. Like, a lot of people have done this before, but it's a great example. Like how Wiz Khalifa did the whole Trap Wiz with like the Wiz Cabin Fever series. But then he had his super commercialized styles that he was jumping off with say, ONIFC. And then then he had that classical sounding, that smoker sound that he did with Currency and all that stuff. Like, he had a bunch of different styles that he would just jump from project to project to project, giving people what they want, depending on how he's feeling at the time. If he was influenced to do something along those lines, he will just give you a whole project based off of one style and then just keep it pushing. Like, and you can have a lot of success in doing that by giving the people what they want. It's just the real hip hop fans. There's a reason why y'all music is just fading away, and it's because y'all don't support the stuff that you say that you love. So why should anyone continue to try to make anything for you? I don't even know. See, but there's more to it, though. There's more things. Some solid rhymes. There was some solid rhymes in this joint. Let's go with the Speechless. From the song Speechless, in that joint, you got a whole bunch of the knowledge bars. And what are knowledge bars? They're not necessarily like the comical punchlines that you will normally get from a Jay-Z or somebody of that nature. It's more, I'm trying to teach you something, and the way that I'm teaching it to you is unique and dope and usually somewhat positive. I like that type of stuff. Like how he said, yo, the audacity of a crack smoker being mad at a weed smoker, or a pill popper to a wine drinker. Like, what he's ultimately talking about there is, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. you as a crack smoker cannot be mad because you're messing up your whole body to somebody who's smoking the weed, who's messing up their whole body too. Like, you ain't got no right to say nothing. And then there were other interesting things within that song too, like how he said, yo, the only thing that's undefeated is time, which is facts. Time will always catch up to you. But said the next thing would be the internet. And, that's a comical meme where people just enjoy the jokes that come out on Twitter and on YouTube and all of that stuff. And to finish off that rhyme, he would say, and this rhyme. The only thing that's undefeated is time next to internet and this rhyme. Like, that was cool. That was cool. Like, I actually enjoy the knowledge balls because I can break them down, and that adds substance to the whole flavor of everything that's going on here. But the production was just okay. The song was just okay. Not anything that I'm going... Like, I've considered to keep it. I listened to it a bunch of times. I wanted to keep it. I really did. But it's on the way out. I'm not going to lie to you. But then you got more balls up in here, like off the 4016 building, when he said, yo, I got so many kids in the game, it's like a gender reveal. Like, all right, as we all know, the gender reveals, all these families and people, they're going really extra with it. They're really doing the most. But it's really something that's become cultural to this point. And he's saying, everybody is biting my style. Everybody's my own kids. It's like every day is a new gender reveal for me, and the gender reveals is going crazy. I like that. I like that a lot. Not enough to save the song, but it was a good bar. Now, let's look at that Woo is for the Children. One of the songs that I told you that I considered keeping heavily, as this is, reflective Nas. Well, Nas is going over things in his life that I didn't even know about. I don't know if these things are new or old, depending on the Nas fan, but it's new to me. But how he's saying, he's reflecting on, he could have been on the Biggie Smalls Gimme the Loot remix as a feature. Like, yes, Nas, you should have did that. Give me the loot, give me the loot. One of my favorite songs. Know all of the bars from beginning to end. In fact, one time we was doing karaoke to a degree and they just played that joint. I'm like, yo, I know this. Spit it all the way through for an entire bunch. Is what it is. But then on top of that, in that same song, Nas is saying, yo, me, Jay, and Frank White is like Cole, Drizzy, and Kenny. Well, this bar got super overhyped on the internet. When the reality of it is he's saying the same thing that he said back in 2016. Like, you guys didn't see the interview where he was giving props to these same people, saying that they're the best in the game. Well, those were his top 5 back in 2016, which shows us that this game has either not evolved since 2016, which, yeah, it definitely hasn't, but also that Nas isn't one for listening to new acts. Something that, looking at how his label has struggled over the years, I mean, the label has gotten better. The label has gotten good as of recent. But how it struggled, you can tell Nas isn't one for actually finding the new talent, the new skillful individuals. He's not one for actually caring about the underground. You dig? So it doesn't surprise me that he's saying J. Cole, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, those are his 3 favorite, and they have been for quite some time, and nothing about that has changed. It's nothing about that surprising. This is not breaking news. But to have an official bar to give this generation the props that they deserve for carrying the torch, like carrying that, like grabbing the baton and running with it in terms of success, in terms of quality music, in terms of building individual fan bases, in terms of being themselves in a industry that's forcing people to go in separate ways in order to fit in with the game, for them to continue to push forward. Surprising it wasn't like Kanye is nowhere near found on this list, but that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother thing. I guess Nas just don't respect the catchy balls instead of the actual going in, but it is what it is. And I know the real hip hop crowd most certainly hated on these artists at one point in time over the years, but I'm okay with it now that these individuals are getting the massive cosign from Drake, from Nas. I guess these people will forever never go against them again. So I think I definitely enjoyed it. It's definitely a cool thing for him to have done, but this isn't anything new that he hasn't been saying for a while. And honestly, did we have to be told by Nas this? I mean, this is clear as day, ain't it? This has been clear as day for a very long time that these guys are to the precipice of all of music for an extended period of time. Probably should have thrown Kanye in there, but whatever. It's not bad. Another bar that I wanted to say, which was pretty cool, said, even your mentor will get you sent for, which that was off of Ugly. And on that same track as well, he already announced that, the King's Disease 3 is already coming out, and he's not taking this project seriously. It's more of the intent is to feed the bars, to give the people what they want, which I guess is the Illmatic sound where he's trying to spit the knowledge and spit some interesting bars on top of complex production in an old school fashion. Like, he's delivering what he feels as though the people really want, but he's not really focused. He's more focused on King's Disease 3. And I like the bar. Like, the even your mentor will have you sent for. That's mafioso. That's go back to Donnie Brasco. When your mentor, the person who put you in, like what was his name? The Al Pacino character. He said, look, whenever something goes wrong, you get sent for. And usually when you get sent for this meeting, it's by somebody that you absolutely trust, and you're gonna get whacked. You're never gonna get out of it. And not only is that in Donnie Brasco, that's in Goodfellas, that was even in Godfather to a degree, not that exact saying, but the people that's closest to you, the people who's your mentors, the people that you absolutely trust in that game, those are usually the people that they use to get to you. What's it called? Casino, happened in Casino, happened in all them joints. Like, the person that's close to you, that's the person that they use in order to get you killed. Dope bar. Definitely a dope bar. But am I heavily anticipating King's Disease 3? We are not in a trajectory where I should get excited now, should we? King's Disease 1 had 2 tracks, which was good. King's Disease 2 only had 1. Magic, not rocking with any of them. It's a downward spiral, fam. It's not going in a direction that I'm actually excited for. But it's still Nas. You never know. He could tone it around. He could deliver something quality. He's honestly doing everything that he wants to do as a musician right now. So I'm never going to sleep and deny the fact that Nas can come out. That's like saying, okay, Tom Brady is washed up. The team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is not playing good going into the playoffs. The team is injured all the way up. The whole receiving core is injured. He's got no chance. No. As long as Tom Brady is putting on that jersey and coming out to play, he's got a chance to win a Super Bowl. As long as he's in the playoffs, until that clock goes to 0-0-0, Tom Brady honestly should be one of the favorites to make it to the Super Bowl, okay? That's how that is. And that's how we need to operate when it comes to Nas. As long as Nas is going into that booth, being seen and putting in the work, trying to make new music, you never can discredit the fact that he can walk out of that joint with a classic song or two. He may not be MVP caliber Nas anymore. He may not be able to deliver a strong album all the way through. That's the next classic. He may never be able to do that again. But he can go into the booth and make a run and make a top 5 album. You did. So even though I'm not super excited for a King's Disease 3 just based off of how everything is going up until this point, I'm not going to deny his ability and say that he can't go in there and make a classic. I'm just saying that it's highly unlikely. Why is it highly unlikely? The signs that you're washed up. Let's look at the song Wave Gods, where he's using shout-outs to cover up the fact that he just never wanted to make a hook on that. I mean, have any of you ever heard of anybody say that Nas is the new Wave God? I don't even know if people were using this terminology. Like, so what he's doing is he's using shout-outs in terms of Max B in order to boost up the acclaim for him and A$AP Rocky, which him and A$AP Rocky coming together, dope. Should have expected it from New York MCs. But what is this like the first time that him and A$AP Rocky has come together on a project? I cannot say 100% for sure this was their first song together, but I can guarantee you that I've never considered Nas a wave god or A$AP Rocky a wave god either. Like, I thought that was exclusive for Max B. Or am I just tripping? I don't know. I do not know if I'm just tripping on that. But signs that you're washed up. I would much rather you have, like, another sign that you're washed up. You're doing more reflective songs, which, as I said, one of my favorite reflective songs was Woo is for the Children. Him going through his history, thinking of all the things that he'd been through and all that. Like, yeah, that's cool. Go through, talk about all the things that we want to hear about from your past. But we need new dope concepts. We need new dope ideas. We need the future. You can't just continue to live off of Stillmatic, Illmatic, all of the matics that you done in your past. You can't just live off of that forever. You're going to have to adapt, change things up, continue to move forward. And you collaborating with the same producer over and over and over in all of the projects that you're doing, that's you beginning to limit yourself and falling into a comfort zone. There's nothing worse for an artist to get into a comfort zone and continue to do the same stuff. It's all about, this is what makes Kanye so great. He's never in a comfort zone. He's always doing something crazy. He's always doing something new, regardless of if it's good. And I agree, it hasn't been good, especially lately. Most of his stuff hasn't been good. But he's always inspired. He's always trying new different things. He's never getting stuck on one producer doing one kind of sound. He's always evolving. That's what's necessary for Nas to continue his progression. You feel me? And signs that you're washed up. We need more new dope concepts than reflective songs. Are we going to get it? I don't think so. Overall, as an album or a mixtape or whatever this is, because it's a surprise joint, I don't quite know how to classify this. And Nas has his own record label. He can do whatever he wants to. He doesn't have to label or classify any of his projects for anything, which is all respect. All respect, because Nas owns his own. He's doing his own thing. He got his own money. He doesn't necessarily have to do music, but he's doing it because he loves it. And I like that. But I need more inspiration, though. I need more inspiration. I need better songs. Overall, because the caliber of the lyricism, the entertainingness of it, even though I'm not keeping a single song off of this, most likely, I'm still gonna give it a 5 out of 10. This should be in the 4 to 3 area, but yet Nas still has that standard of quality that he's known for. The bars that he delivers, it keeps you in tune, even with the production not being completely above par that it needs to be, even though the concepts are a bit on the lazy, washed up side. He's just shouting people out and making up stuff that ain't even all that interesting. It's not even really catchy. It is what it is. Even with all of that, I still don't think that this was a bad project. I just know that you guys are overhyping it. This is why I'm giving it 5 out of 10. But let's go ahead and look at some of these comments. Intelligent Cycle, what's good, bro? What a Topaz. I didn't know Nas Magic was even coming out. Wasn't like it got promoted easily. Also says, since he's coming out with KD3 next year, it's more of something to tie the fans over. Facts. And I feel that. I feel it was not promoted heavily at all. It was a surprise project. That's much like how J. Cole did it. You dig? J. Cole usually will drop, well, not usually, but for a little minute, J. Cole was dropping surprise project after surprise project. You feel me? And I mean, it is what it is. But Nas is like the wrong person to be dropping a surprise project, though, because his fan base ain't really tuning in to see if he's dropping something on a daily basis. Now, when you look at the younger acts who's putting out music and stuff, the kids ain't got nothing else to do but to sit up and wait for the favorite artist to drop all the time. And when they do drop, like, oh, I'm on it. I'm going to make these numbers go up. I'm going to enjoy this as much as I can. That's the strategy that they can do that Nas can't do with his current audience. You feel me? Like, Nas's current audience have been listening to him since the 90s. And these people are not following music day in and day out. These people got jobs. These people got lives. These people, a lot of them don't even know, like, most music is coming out Thursday nights. You feel me? Like, I can go through, like, people who are even, like, younger than Nas's core audience and stuff. People who are younger than that actually do enjoy Nas from his resurrection years, from Stillmatic and all that stuff. A lot of those people don't even really be knowing how the music industry is jumping off right now. And it's because people just are not following the game the older you get. You dig? So it's not a feasible strategy for Nas to be dropping something without any promotion and expect that to actually come about the way he needed to actually come about. That's just not. Like, J. Cole got away with it because during J. Cole's prime, his audience wasn't fully matured yet. And after that point, like, now he's just a straight up made man that whenever he decides to drop anything, people are going to tune in. He doesn't do like the full surprise albums like that no more. But he still does his thing though. Like he's still not getting heavy promotion because, like, well, why does J. Cole need it? Like, people actually are tuning in every day to see what J. Cole is going to do. Nas, people gonna catch up to it eventually. Vega Don. I see why only 3 people was up in this chat. You sound crazy and obviously limited understanding of hip hop. No, only 3 people are what you see in the chat, but I see the amount of playbacks. There's plenty of people in the playbacks. And 2, I've forgotten more about hip hop than you will ever know, Vega. And these is facts. Like, I made so many videos about so much stuff that you just have no idea the amount of knowledge of how deep it goes. TJ Maxx is upset too, as I kind of foreseen. Like when I first went on and decided to go live on this, going how I knew I was going to go about it. I knew a few of his fans were actually going to show up because, you know, Nas fans, they really dislike me because they know real hip hop is dying out. They cannot take the fact that Nas is not to the forefront of the music industry no more. You can't take the honesty of the truth that the game has moved on. But yet Nas is still a legend. I still respect Nas. Nas is still one of my favorites. But I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that Nas is still the greatest. He's still the one putting out the best music. He's not. The Matrix just came out, right? One of my favorite quotes from the third Matrix. Everything that has a beginning has an end, Neo. Nas's career, at least his peak of being amazing with the bars, amazing with the songs, amazing all the way around, making classic projects, we may have already seen that peak come and go. Much like every rapper. Like, they say that rapping is a young man's game. And it's because you got to be hungry. The hungrier you are, the more focused you are, the better projects you can release, the more grinding you can do, the more people are focused in on you. You dig? But once you start to get full, like when you see Nas makes so much more money with his investments. Nas makes so much more money with his investments today, from the doorbell with the camera in it to his investments in Coinbase. Like, this man is the crypto king at this moment. He's showing us how to get this money, how to be in the future. Nas is a great businessman. He was one of the greatest artists to ever do it, but yet even Michael Jordan, like I said in the beginning, Michael Jordan, who was widely considered the greatest of all time to do it, eventually he played for the Wizards, fam. Everybody burns out. No one stays on top forever. The only reason why Drake has been on top of the game, well, many deem Drake has been on top of the game in terms of sales, in terms of quality music, how he's been continuously pumping throughout the years. Only reason why he's been that is because he gets ghostwriting, and he only gets ghostwriting from the best, and he knows how to take the ghostwriting and make it into his own. TJ Maxx says, so who do you think is the greatest rapper, the greatest that's still making music today? The greatest who's still making music today. What, you want to hear about somebody old school? Like, the best rappers right now, Nas got it right in terms of the game. Well, no. In terms of the commercial industry, in terms of hype and who's putting out quality projects, yes, Nas got it right when he said Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole. Those are the three dudes that's on top. But in terms of, if you want to talk skills, who's the best rapper, point blank rapper in the game, not necessarily about the not about the promotion, not about the album sales. We talking just raw skills. Is that what you want to hear? If you want to know who's the best rapper of just raw skills that's out there, it would be King Los. Easy. Easy King Los. Who he was the greatest, he was one of the best punchline. Like, even though he never shined on the maximum capacity, ball for ball, better than your favorites. So much so that he was able to transition into the battle rap scene, and he's still doing well for himself. You might not even know him. But if you want to hear one of the best rappers who's coming up, that people ain't even showing him the most love that he honestly deserves, but he may be in the near future because he signed with Kendrick Lamar in that label, TDE label, but they put him in a super group. Hopefully it becomes a super group, or maybe he'll go back off and do his own thing again. Nick Grant, easily one of the best lyricists that's out there that nobody even listening to. Los, so you know who Los is. That's what's up. Do you know how far back Los's music goes? Do you know, like 10 years, if not more, 10 years ago, he was dropping some of the best music that the underground has ever seen? Did you know that? But did you know about King Los's whole campaign where he went from radio to radio to radio and told him like this: look, you tell me what I need to rap about. I will rap about it. And I bet you that you will repeat yourself before I do. And he did it from radio station to radio station to radio station. And I give props to King Los, even though King Los don't even like me. King Los don't even like anything that I say, because the one time I get critical about the music, because his music began to fall off too. But lyrically, he's still top level beyond the vast majority of people that I've ever come across. All right, then what's your favorite early King Los mixtape? This I got to know. Like, TJ Maxx is saying that he's known Los when he was battle rapping in the early 2000s. Don't question him. Like, okay, what's your favorite early King Los mixtape? Or do you not know any of them? See, and now you taking too long. You taking way too long. You can't Google search it. Now you trying to Google search. Now you trying to go to that piff. Now you're trying to see. Now you're trying to understand. See, you don't even know. See, no responses. You don't even know the Shooter mixtape? Okay, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But you know, my time is already. I'm already going over my time. I appreciate everybody that came through, man. I'm gonna try to get back into the flow of things. I'm gonna try to do every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, even Thursdays, maybe Fridays too, depending on how things go. I appreciate everybody in the playback too. Everybody who was hating, saying, oh, ain't nobody watching. Oh, people watching in the playbacks, fam. Appreciate all of y'all in the playback. Appreciate everybody, man. We gonna be back again. Hit a like, subscribe, comment, even if you dislike what I'm saying, but we can argue about it. We can talk about it. But I'm right. But we can talk about it though. We can definitely talk about it anytime. Y'all just the ones who catching the fence. I just give you the real, and y'all can just be mad about it. But we can move on from there. I'm having fun. But I hope that everybody enjoyed the show, man. We back. Gonna continue to push forward. Hopefully we're gonna have some better music and everything to go from here on out. We in fourth quarter, baby. Fourth quarter. The end of it. So there should be maybe one more good project to come out for this year. I'm hoping. But you guys have a nice night. I'm gonna go ahead and handle some things. Y'all be good.